Hey, so I'm back. I missed you guys terribly. The last video was posted beginning of February, and I said I was going to do this more often and try and keep on a schedule, which you can obviously tell I didn't because it's now June, and that's several months that I haven't done anything. There's lots of reasons for that, and I'll get into a couple of them as well as the reason for this video. But first I just want to say, I hope you're all doing okay, or good, or great even. I prefer great, but I'll settle for okay. I love you all a ton. I've said that in like every single video I've ever made, and I want you to know that. I care about you a lot. No matter what walk of life you're in right now, no matter what you identify as, your belief system, I love you and I care about you, and I just want you to be okay. I want you to be good. I want life to treat you well, and I know that's not always the case, and it hurts. And I wish it could be the case. Today is Sunday, June 12th, 2016, that I'm making this video. And if you don't know, if you haven't been following the news or anything, there was a really big, the largest mass shooting that the US has ever seen happened last night, Saturday, June 11th, 2016. And I've been trying to deal with it all day. I've been trying to think about it and comprehend it and let it sink in. And the more I do that, the more I think about it, and the more it hurts. I don't live in Orlando. I know some people in Florida. I'm not connected to anyone. Pray to God I'm not connected to anyone that is actually there. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't know anyone there, but it doesn't make it any easier thinking about it. And so for everyone who knows somebody who was affected during the attack, everything I can do, my heart is completely yours. And my prayers and thoughts have been with you nonstop since I read about it, even when trying to disassociate myself with it and think about other things. I haven't been able to stop. So, prayers and thoughts are with you. As a side note, real quick, there is a GoFundMe that somebody created. I'm not entirely sure on the person, and I feel really bad, but I will definitely link to it below, and you should go look at it. Donate if you can. I did because that is the best. I can make posts and talk about it all day, but I wanted to do something, so I did donate. And there's a disclaimer on it that all the money is going directly to the victims' families. It's not going to a random person who's then going to deliver it. There's guidelines and restrictions on how the money is being spent and who's getting it. So you can read through that. If you don't trust it, that's fine, but it is a really good way to do something. Aside from that, if you can't do that, if you can't, donate blood. If you're in Orlando, definitely. It's probably really late at this point to be saying that, but just donate blood if you have the ability to do that. A lot of people can't, but in the case there is an attack like this somewhere else, the more blood they have, the more people they can save. So go donate blood. I know it's not the most exciting, it's terrifying, and they stick a thing in your arm. If you don't like needles, it can be really scary, but if you have the ability to, do that, because there are so many people who wish that they could give blood, and they can't because of really silly restrictions. And I know there's probably a lot of medical reasons for those restrictions, but when there's a crisis, it just hurts, especially when it's part of your community. It hurts that they wouldn't let you help in that way. So if you can, please do that. I did write a post on Facebook and share it with all my friends and share the GoFundMe, as I'm going to do now. But looking back over it and after thinking about it all day, I realized I might have made a really big mistake when I talked about the post. Because when I wrote the post, because when I did write the post, I didn't mention anything about the attack. And there are a couple reasons why. And there are a lot of reasons why tied into why I haven't made videos or posted on my blog, because every time I have something I want to talk about, I'm really terrified of putting my opinions out there. Oftentimes, I mean, with the internet, even with Facebook friends and things, putting your opinions out there means you get a lot of, you lose respect. People tend to be charged one side or the other, and very charged for one side or the other, which means you can't make a post with opinions without causing one side of people, or potentially both sides of people, to get really upset. And I don't like making people upset, so I try to stray away from that. But more and more recently, I've not been able to, and I don't want to. I don't want to be a person who never speaks out on anything because they're scared of what other people are going to say. So, hopefully stopping that now, which means expect videos and things about controversial things that I have really strong opinions on, and I'm kind of done with not speaking out about them. That brings me back to my Facebook post, which I messed up on, and that's because I didn't mention that the attacker targeted an LGBT club in Orlando. I didn't mention that the people killed and the targets and the people injured were all lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, all of the above. I didn't mention that, because if I did, that would mean that all of my staunchly Christian followers on Facebook that I've met through my life of being a Christian would look at me differently. I didn't mention that because while people seem to be okay with me and my sexuality, it's not something we talk about often because they accept it, but it's not something you talk about in public. Yeah. So I didn't. I just said my heart and prayers went out to the victims and those related and connected to the attacks, without specifying who. And that's a disservice to the community. There isn't a single mass shooting that I don't care about. Every single time it comes across the news, or I see one person mention it, regardless of how many people are talking about it, every time I hear about one, it hurts so much. This one hit home for me because that could have been me. It could be me any day. I don't really give off the same vibes, really, and I'm not always going out to a club or something. Specifically, I don't go out often, but when I do go out, it's not necessarily to a gay club or an LGBT club. I don't go out there that often, but I do on occasion. And that could have been me. It could be me. It could be me next time I go. It could be me anytime. Somebody could get upset that I post this video and am openly just like, hey, I'm bisexual, and they could just be like, we don't like that, and then that could be it. And that's terrifying. If anything good came out of this, which there isn't. It's not. I'm not saying I'm glad it happened. Not at all. Not even slightly. But I'm the type to look at the silver lining and try to find good in things, because if I don't find that light in life, it just becomes unbearable. And for me, if anything good came out of all of this, it was that I don't want to hide. I mean, I'm still not going to go out and just like, well, I don't know. I don't want to hide it anymore. Like, I'm not going to bring it up when it doesn't need to be brought up. I'm not going to like shove it in people's faces, but at the same time, I'm not going to shy away from posting something that deals with my community on Facebook because I'm scared that random so-and-so from Christian church back home is going to denounce me and tell me I'm going to hell. Like, I'm not scared of that because I know it's not true. And if somebody wants to do that, then I don't need them in my life. And I'm better off for that. But at the same time, I would hope that someone knowing me would lead them to understand that it's not what they think it is. And that's the goal. I'm not going to try and hide. Have been doing a fairly terrible job of hiding, but it's still something I tend to do, and I want to try and stop. I want to become part of the community. I've always been very distanced from the LGBT community. Like I said, I don't go to gay clubs that often. I want to now. I mean, I've wanted to for a while now, but I want to become part of that community. I want to experience the same feelings and the same heartbreak that that community feels, because I'm part of that community. So, to wrap this video up and all the emotions that I'm feeling right now, I just want to say that my hearts and prayers truly are with everyone involved and everyone who is even remotely affected by what happened today in Orlando. My heart has broken several times reading stories about it, and I want to do everything I can to support, and so I really encourage you to check out the GoFundMe below. It can help out in ways that you aren't even aware of, and it's actually doing something which is wonderful. I love you all, and I hope that you're able to power through this dark attack and every mass shooting that happens after this. I hope you're able to find some sort of light to cling to in this world, because it's a very dark world, and without some unbreakable light, it can get very hard to traverse. For me, that light's my religion, my faith, and yours can be anything. Whether or not you believe in something, like, whether or not you have the same faith as me, it doesn't matter. I just hope that you find a light that you're able to cling to, that will never go out. I love you all. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Stay strong.